Hey gang, Mocha Boy here. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. So we've got some fun stuff to share this week. It's been a very eventful week, at least from my perspective. But unfortunately, we won't be able to get to the Clan Wars wrap up from this prior Clan War. I wasn't able to record the session before Supercell went in there and deleted the replays. And there were some really cool attacks. I'm seeing some really inventive and creative deployments from everyone in the clan that has hogs. And it's been really fun to watch you guys come into those strategies and kind of adopt them for your own. But before we get started, I just wanted to say welcome to a few of the clan's newest members. We've added just in the past few weeks DZ, Grizz, Jay Garudi, Razor Red, who's a friend of, I believe it's either MJ or Montresor, I forget who, Dig Infinity, and then his friend Scotch, who also come in from another clan. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but welcome on board. And Hutch, I wanted to point out, Hutch in his first week here absolutely crushed the donation, the donation cycle. I think he pulled in something like 2,000 or 3,000 donated troops. I didn't get a chance to see it before the league reset, but great job there. Not asked for, not expected, but it's always great to see that people are stepping up and pulling their own weight in the clan. So great job there. So welcome on board. In case you guys haven't already done so, go ahead and take a look at the Clan Wars briefing. For the Clan War that we have planned tonight, just remember, no town hall sniping unless it's cleared by either the co-leader's leader or elders. Make sure you attack within your range. Call out your attacks. Make sure that someone is checking the spreadsheet to make sure that those attacks aren't already signed up for, because typically what will happen is people start cooking an army for a particular base, and then only to log on and find out that base was attacked. So please respect the request, sign up, request bases yourselves. If there's a question, don't launch your attack. Just stop, take a minute, and take a look at the spreadsheet just to make sure that we're not stepping on each other's toes. Obviously, there will be exceptions for that. If you just have to get your attack in and there's nobody online to help, we'll understand. But remember that attacking out of your range, town hall sniping, these are all kickable offenses. You will automatically be kicked. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to things like that. So play by the rules and everybody will be happy. That said, we will be starting up another search later on tonight at 9 o'clock and should have some fun action starting up again this week. So the other thing I wanted to update everybody on was after chasing Ryan up the leaderboard, and that's this Ryan right here, after chasing Ryan up the leaderboard to make an attempt at Masters 3, I was able to finally push through last night with a last-minute Town Hall snipe for 9 trophies, and I made it to Masters 3. Now, why would anyone want to do this as a Town Hall 8 or even a Town Hall 7, 6, or 5? You know what? I didn't have anything better going on, and I figured if Ryan could do it, and he was pretty close, I figured if Ryan could do it with the troops that he had, I could definitely do it with the troops that I did. What neither of us accounted for was that the trip to 2,500 is pretty straightforward. Just it's a bare knuckle brawl. Look for the right targets, take them out, and then you're good to go. But once you hit about 2,500 and 2,550, even that last slog from 2,550 to 2,600, it is an absolute brawl. I mean, there's just nothing. It's a desert out there. There's nothing to attack. Depending on what time of day you're at, you're going after all the same targets that everybody else who is trying to do the same thing are going for. And that's looking for town halls to snipe, looking for easy town halls to access and take out. But it's pretty ridiculous when you consider the fact that some of these town halls, I had to deploy an entire army just to take out one building. I think this was. Let me see, was it 9 trophies? Actually, it was this one right here. Unfortunately, I lost the replay, but yeah, this guy's town hall was right up here. And, I pretty much dumped my entire army on his head just to get that town hall taken out. But there was one other one. Let me see if I can find it. Because this guy was just mean. It was this guy. Yeah, so this guy, look at this. He puts his, 2 Inferno towers right there. And that even if he's got his flags here, this is ringed with both springs and double bomb, big bombs and Teslas. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. But what I did was I dropped hogs on either side of his town hall and literally just dropped like 14,000 DPS right on top of this base and took him out. And as a thank you, I tried to lure out his clan castle to take them out also and soften this guy up for the next guy, but I didn't have any troops left. So yeah, again, seemed like a really good idea at the time, and part of the problem is that once you commit to the trip, it's hard to back out because you have time invested, you have money invested, and you don't want to go through that entire process again. So I said, you know what, I just got to go. But my trip, just in brief, it took me about 7 days to do, spread out over a bunch of play sessions. Those play sessions were about 4 to 6 hours a piece. I left my town hall outside whenever possible to catch the snipe, and I got sniped about 95% of the time, which was just fantastic. People will almost always take the opportunity to just grab your trophies and run and leave your base, leave your base alone. So if you're planning on doing this and you're not a Town Hall 9, or even if you're a Town Hall 9, just really consider leaving your town hall exposed and just surrounding it with decorations and drawing the snipe. It'll be better in the long run because honestly, Town Hall 7, Town Hall 8, if I was in Crystal 1 and I saw a Town Hall 8 base, I automatically attacked it. I didn't even bother assessing the base, I just dropped the troop, because those are the only bases that you can attack at that level. So yeah, some questions came up in clan chat last night, and I just wanted to cover some of the responses to those. Just that you guys understand what it actually takes to do this. So why did I do it? Number one, I was chasing after Ryan. Number two, there's 1,000 gem reward once you get there, which is still pretty helpful. Number three, I wanted to do this as a Town Hall 8. Everyone can do this as a Town Hall 9, but only it takes a certain sort of crazy to do this as a Town Hall 8, and that's I'm a little crazy like that. What can I say? So I launched this effort as a Town Hall 8 with level 4 hogs. The other thing that I did notice was that there was a YouTube guy who posted some videos back out, like I think in October of 2013. He was able to do it with level 2 hogs, deploying them 20 at a time and going after dead bases. But the problem is that with recent changes to the matchmaking system, those dead bases are harder to find. So even if you were able to get up there, using dead bases to look for an attack is just not a really efficient strategy for any resource collection or whatever. So that's the theory that I went into it. I thought that I might get up there and just find this boatload of dead bases. It wasn't the case at all. I went there and all I found were really, really mean looking TH10. So that was why. Now, as far as, let's see. So the next question was, how many times did I search? Searching up here was tricky because up to about 2,500, I was averaging about 30 to 50 searches before I would attack a base. But after 2,500, you literally run into a wall. And time of day also matters. I found that mornings were dry. Early afternoons were dry. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard, things would start to pick up. But by and large, the best time to find bases to attack, and that was either Town Hall Snipes or Town Hall 9s or 8s, making the push with you, and who themselves were also targets, was around 9 p.m. at night, till about 2 in the morning, and then as Asia came back online around 2 a.m., those bases dried up again. So, part of the issue is at Town Hall 8, it's 580 gold to hit next, and you could potentially end up doing that 100 times to find a base. At my worst, I think I did about 211 searches before I finally found a target. And that if you don't walk in there with about 1 million, 1.5 million, even 2 million elixir and gold, or 3 million elixir, 2 million gold, you'll find the situation where you'll probably end up running out of money at one point. And that's where your revenge list actually comes in handy. So keep that revenge list handy because you will be sniping those targets to refill your coffers as you go up. Because it's not even about 3-starring bases at that point. If you're lucky, maybe you'll 50% some badly built TH10 bases. But managing your resources up until that point becomes a real issue. Up until 2,500, you can maintain parity and even gain a little bit. But after that, it's just you're bleeding resources, left, right, and sideways. So yeah, 100 to 200 after about 2,500, but under that, averaging anywhere from 30 to 50. Or if I was feeling particularly randy, go and search 100 times for a dead base. But it really wasn't efficient, because when you consider it takes 22 minutes to cook the army and then another 15 minutes to find it, you're not very productive. So how long did it take? We covered that earlier. About 7 days, 4 to 6 hour play sessions, along the lines. It's nothing that anyone can't do, but part of the issue is staying online once you're online, so that you don't get attacked the second that you get logged off. But I did draw enough snipes to keep to basically keep my trophy advancement reasonable. I wouldn't wake up and find like I lost 60 trophies or something like that. So what kind of bases did I target? The bases that I targeted, I would look for up to about 2,500. Again, Town Hall 9s, preemie Town Hall 9s, nothing that was a hog ring. Town Hall 8, regardless of how it was designed, I just launched an attack, because they're all pretty much defeatable with any army that you have. Let's see, Town Hall 7s, I found a few on my way up. And then dead bases, but dead bases were few and far in between. You'd be lucky to find 1 in 500, and that's kind of anecdotal, but about 1 in 500 were dead bases. And of course, it also depended on time of day and how many people were also looking with you. So army composition. When I started off in C3, I went in with a pretty light army composition. I went in with this crew here, so 37 barbarians, archers, a few giants, a few wall breakers, 12 wizards, and then 10 hogs. Now, as I rose through the ranks, this number increased and this number decreased. So that's how I pulled them away. So you're looking at about just under 100K. Now, when I was targeting the bases earlier on, I would absolutely target anything that had at least 700 dark elixir and at least 100,000 elixir, and that was to make sure that the army was paying for itself on the way up. And typically what ended up happening was, with the bonuses, I'd end up increasing that supply over time. So that's important to remember, that you need to build those reserves up to about 3 million before you hit C1, because it's all going to start disappearing really fast once you hit 2,500. And you want to be able to go in there with those kinds of resources. But want to hit 2,500. This number was more like 20 hogs, or 20, even 24 hogs. And then in this case, the giants and the wall breakers were completely gone, and all I had were the wizards that I brought with me. Like it'd be like 10 wizards, and then just enough barbarians and archers to take out the CC. So this is what you're looking at. Now, as far as boosting is concerned, I did boost. So I boosted spells, I boosted the hero, and I boosted 1 barracks. Now you only have to boost 1 barracks here, because your spells, 3 heal spells, take an hour and a half to generate. So it's 22 minutes of that real world time, or an hour and a half. So in an hour and a half, what you can do is you can plug away at 10 wizards here, and then just leave the remainder for the other 2 barracks. Now, I had 1 upgrading at this time, so I only had access to 3, but again, the real limiting factor here are your spells. You have all of that time to just sit and do whatever you need to do. So it's, to make this economical, you only need to boost 1 barracks to keep up, or even just leave them off and do all of your training. Well, let me take that back. So, if you want to raid every 22 minutes with this army composition, you can do that by just boosting 3 barracks. So that was that. As far as attack strategies, standard hog attack strategies apply. Send everything in as a group, heal them 3 times, clean up what's left with your DPS wizards, archers, and your giants and wall breakers. So no big thing there. So the question of how my base held up, how did my base hold up? The base held up actually pretty well, all things considered, but to be perfectly honest, you're not going to survive any attack up here against level 5 hogs, or even any basic Town Hall 9 or Town Hall 10 trophy army. They're just going to roll you. So don't even bother trying to taunt them into attacking you, because you're going to lose. Or if you do win, it's not going to be often. You'll maybe win 1 out of every 10 attacks. But if you want to hold on to your trophies, just leave your town hall exposed and draw the snipe. You will draw it more times than you will get attacked full on. But yeah, I mean the base is set up so that I draw. It's set up to repel hogs, but it'll take care of a giant army as well. And as far as Balloonians are concerned, not much I can do there. It is what it is. Anyone who really wants your resources is going to get them if they want them. But one other thing to note is that and I might have mentioned this earlier. Keep your revenge list handy, because if you start to run out of resources, you will be plinking away at them to refill your coffers. So yeah, that's about it. The only other things that I would mention, when you're town hall sniping, be patient and never attack a base unless you've got a full army ready to go, because there are a lot of folks up here who love to trap their bases, just for shits and giggles. So expect that you will see 4 max level Teslas pop up, and that you'll have expos kind of off in the distance peppering away at you. I made a couple of bad decisions a few times trying a couple of risky moves. It's just not worth it when you consider that a single raid, or worse yet 2 raids, can erase like 2 days worth of work. You never want to find yourself in that position, so don't even bother. Don't even bother trying. Above 2550, pretty much all I did was snipe. I found a couple of bases that I could attack, but then ended up passing on them because just wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it with the troops that I had. When in doubt, next is your friend. There will always be something else to attack. It's just a question of how much time you want to invest in waiting for them. So that's it. As a Town Hall 8, was it worth it? Maybe for bragging rights and just to proclaim to the world how much of a life I don't have. Because literally, the posts on Supercell where they say they did this for 4 or 5 days. They're not exaggerating. This is literally all you will do for 4 or 5 days if you want to try to do this. So you have to consider whether or not that's actually worth it. For me, I bought my 5th builder a long time ago, so this wasn't even about the gems. The gems was just icing on the cake. But I wanted to kind of go through the experience and kind of satisfy my own curiosity about how far I could push the army compositions that I already have. And the answer to that question is extremely far. A lot further than I thought. A lot of us fight in Gold 1 and Gold 2. As a Town Hall 8, once you get to about like Hogs 3, Hogs 4, you can start taking out some pretty big bases above your level. So don't be afraid to kind of dip your toes in the water a little bit higher, especially when you want to start farming Dark Elixir, because you're not going to be able to do it down at that level. You're going to have to come up into Crystalline, even Masters, to farm the amounts of Dark Elixir that you need to support things like your hero upgrades and your dark upgrades. So just a quick note there. A couple of questions came up about the Infernos. What can you survive with Hogs? The answer is nothing. At least not. What ends up happening with the way that Infernos work is, especially when they're set to multi-target mode, they will completely cancel out the healing effect of any of your heals, which leaves all of the other defenses, it gives all of the other defenses the ability to just burn you down. So the Inferno stop the heal and even do a little bit more damage if they're a little bit higher up, but then it's all of the other defenses that end up taking you down. So that's why, even if you go in there and you stack 2 heals, it's just not enough to even take out 1. Now, the one exception to this that I'm noticing is that balloons, for some reason, are extremely powerful against these guys, especially when the Infernos are in single target mode. So I am really excited to start experimenting with that, once I get to Town Hall 9, whenever that is. I'm going to be focusing on 2 big upgrades, just getting my minions to 3 and then my Barbarian King to level 10. And then I will start farming immediately for Town Hall 9, and whatever defenses I have upgraded by then, I'll have. But really, what it is about getting access to a big Balloonian army, and then doing some hardcore farming with that army composition. So yeah, that's about it. That was my trip to Masters. Again, if you made it this far, and if you're planning on doing this, really think long and hard about why you want to do this and whether or not it's worth it to you to even try. I'll be the first to admit it was a really dumb idea, but once I got started, I couldn't stop because I had already had so much invested, and there's no way I was going to go through that again. when I was Town Hall 9 6 months later or whatever, So mission accomplished and off to the next challenge. So yeah, we will be doing Clan War Search later on tonight, 9 p.m. EST. So start getting your bases wrapped. Start getting your bases wrapped up. Remember to pull your bases out of farming mode if you haven't already done that, and go into trophy mode for your Clan War bases. That's about it. Thanks for joining in, and see you on the next.